So I'm breaking the jigger out. This ground's too wet for most everything else, and the log's got to go too far. All right, so I'm throwing this dude on here temporarily, but this is a great time to talk about my lines and the goofiness of them. On the stiff tongue wagon, if it's properly connected or adjusted, you steer by the stay chains. You don't steer by the neck of the horses. So when you go over rough terrain, or let's say if you're on the log wagon, you have 4,000 pounds or something on the front end, and you hit a pothole or a snag or something, instead of the tongue whipping and it twisting on their necks, it just tightens up through this chain, which steers through the tugs, through the collar, so it's very even and gentle on them. It doesn't wear your horse's necks out. Also, there's no tongue weight, so you can leave them there standing all day long or whatever, and you don't have any weight on their back or their necks. Yes, this tongue does come up a considerable ways, so if you go underneath rough terrain or whatever, it doesn't just drag down their necks. If you notice, the double tree that I have made for this, it's adjusted where you're a couple inches wider on both sides. The log wagon and this jigger both have the stiff tongue, so I can just drop my lines like that, and then my horses have the extra spread to match the extra wide double tree. I'm sure I'll have to adjust because it's been over a year since I've used this thing of a jigger. That widens them out, where when that tongue whips back and forth a bit, it stays off of them. Also lets them walk a little bit further apart, so they stay a little bit cooler. Ups and downs to everything. I hope I explained that well. Some people really don't ever understand how a stiff tongue is supposed to work properly. It's pretty cool. If you're going to have a lot of weight on your steer tires, and if you're going to be going through rough terrain, it's pretty cool. So one thing, guys, anytime you're using a release like this, especially up high as this thing is, set this chain out of the way. Before you hit that release, if I hit this release right now, this log drops, it's going to whip this chain around whichever way. So I'm going to throw this chain over on this side of it before I hit it. So that way when it drops, the chain just drops straight down instead of whipping around and may take your teeth out. So just pull it up the bluff. I have to leave slack in it to make turns sometimes. Come up here on the flat, picked it up. So now it's totally airborne. This one's light enough where I can pick it up and keep the front end down. It's a brand new battery. I never charged it, so that the winch sounds weak in what it is. That's a 12,000 pound winch, even though I do lose a lot of power through that homemade pulley or roller. They're still breathing a bit. I'm pulling that hill. since that bark and whatnot, it'll get lower and lower. So the remote is what really makes this thing work slick inside the wood. Well, I say work slick. Makes it work a lot better inside the woods. You can do some cool stuff with it when you get it like that. But you can see just how far you can go with this with a whole lot of ease. Anyway, that's why I built it. In flat earth country, it does work handy. Like, let's say we're going the opposite way. Let's say we're going down. There's that pretty sharp embankment, or whatever you want to call it. You got to pull off right there. It's kind of handy because you can pull it right up to the edge, lower it down, let it drag some so it doesn't ram your horses down the hill. And then once you get down there, you can lift it back up. And that's kind of handy. If I grab the line with 2 hands, put them to yours, we go forward. And Gus will do more so too. I don't really care if we drive one-handed. Used to do plow days out here. Ooh. That's good enough. You? Very handy. Just get a remote on, you can just bump it. Ooh. Put some paint on that thing. Look a little less redneckish. But anyway, you can see how much they're breathing. And that is slightly uphill. So, you know, there's no way I could do that with a log arch. And log wagon will be sinking too bad today. You can get by with some with a log wagon, but it wouldn't. It puts a lot more ground pressure down than what this thing does. See the poles on the ground out here. You know, you just might as well leave that tractor parked, or skid steer, or whatever it is you're using. Need oil. I'm gonna miss it. Oh yeah. And you gotta make sure you release the brake on this thing, or it will pull like nobody's business. Custom spinners, baby. What size that log is? It's probably 16, 18. That's probably 18-inch or so. Maybe 19. That one looks like a 20. Down by one. What the heck? The aliens done start talking to the rednecks again. things we're doing. Up through here. No ruts. Nothing caving in or pumping. I really wonder if I shouldn't get rid of that thing. I just buy me a knuckle bone truck sometimes. Easy now. Easy. Just grabbing some more line. Huh? Ooh. Oh, look at that. We're airborne right there. Now, what happens if I step off? It touches if I step off. If I step back on, oh look, he goes airborne. Yeah, you can't really tell on the film. It's the little things in life. Anyway, 250 bore, that's, yeah, I'll say that's at least 254 feet. So anyway, is this thing good for every situation? Absolutely not. Is it awfully handy for some stuff? That's just how I'm using it again. I'm kind of wondering why. A few spots I should not use it. A few other spots. Ooh, and I know it's all vanity, but those 35-inch tires on that thing makes the logs look small. Does it matter? No. Does it hurt my ego? Just a little. But that is the key to low ground pressure. These big tires. If I go over again, I wouldn't do anything different as far as the tires go. Who knows? Maybe even bigger.